This is what we're gonna build today.
Protective plastic on some of these pieces. Don't peel that off. That's what you're gonna peel off very, very, very last. One thing when you're tightening these screws is, because this is made out of, what is this made out of? When it's like all chips squished together?
Balsam wood. I wish I was
Because this is IKEA wood. you wish you were Ron Swanson. That's a deep cut. That's not a deep cut. That is a cut to Parks and Rec. When you are tightening these screws, you want to ensure that you don't tighten them too tight because you could actually split the wood. Two pieces away because we are going to be doing these inside slides.
While one person holds it steady, the other places it down.
These two guys are the same side as those two. It looks like if you put in multiple ones and then screwed in, it made it quicker.
So much faster. Just put them all in by hand and then screw them. The hard part is page 16. You have to learn these 20 languages.
Oh man.
You're pretty much ready to figure out where you want to put this thing. It comes with legs. It can, I guess. We didn't purchase the legs. We're just gonna hang ours on the wall. Anchor it rather. To be honest, that was the easy part. Now we have to do the hard part.
We are just waiting for my dad to come over. What are you doing down there?
Stretching, okay.
Oh, jeez. We were just waiting for my dad to come over so we can anchor that. We also have to put a lot of the plumbing inside the wall, which we're going to show you guys. But while we're waiting, we are going to start to put together the drawers so that once it's all assembled and I'll put on the wall, we can just, and then I can put all my stuff in there. Guess who just got here?
The dude himself.
The dude, the man, the legend.
Hey.
Rob. It was Father's Day, but we shall not help him carry those tools.
Oh, why would you do that?
Why would we do that?
That Father's Day was yesterday.
That would ruin the shot. the wine I got my dad because he's always got Mal back.
Oh man.
Get it?
Got it.
So we have got to deconstruct this that is currently in place. Clearly outdated. The best thing to do first is to take off the doors because that way you're just gonna have the open cavity and you're gonna be able to do all of your work so much easier.
We could just shut off all the water to the house, but then we'd be without that for the entirety of this reno. So instead we're gonna cap it. So first, let's shut off the water to the house.
That's my kind of guy. Oh, that's gross.
It's gross. I'm gonna get out of the way.
These mirrors are super delicate, so we're gonna take it down. Dad said you have to push this up. Sometimes you'll get into a case where you actually don't use the bit to remove a screw because the contractor just put the screw in drywall, so it's basically just going to spin around in drywall. That's exactly what happened to us when we were removing that mirror. So we loosened it and then Dad just pried it out. Because there is a different floor there where they did some of that flooring and they don't have the baseboards behind the unit that was there. We're going to clean all this out. We are planning on changing the floor, so that's no worries at all. We can even maybe even take that out. And when we take all those baseboards out, the plan is to replace them with new ones anyways after we clean it all up. This is the more intense phase of this install, so this is probably why you're watching this video. We are going to have to cut open the wall and then put all of the piping inside of the wall because it needs to be a flush unit on the side. And Scott is just out going to get the sink parts because we need to see what comes with it and if we have to go out and get any extra bits to make sure that it goes in the wall. I heard that if you do this with a normal level, you're gonna drive yourself insane. So if you can rent a laser level or you know someone who has one or you can just go out and buy one, 100% get it.
It's a great tool to buy because hanging pictures or anything, right? It's good to have. Now that we have the height we want, we're gonna hold the cabinet up to the wall. And on the wall, we're gonna mark these circles.
If you get this specific sink, I'll show you, with the back, it does have a slight lip, okay? So you wouldn't want to install it with this flush to the wall because this is going to hang over. Yeah. And then another thing, you want to make sure that they're even on both sides, or you could do it off-centered, I guess, but to do it right, you want it fully centered. This is a decision you have to make. If you're building it in a corner like this. If you have freestanding, you definitely want to have that 1/2 inch on each side. But because we are building right against the wall, probably best to have it flush there so nothing falls down, there's no dust collecting on the side, and then it'll just hang over a little bit on the other side. You know sometimes how you have things in your home and it's after a reno or someone else did it and you just hate it so much? I don't know what it is about this towel rack, but I have a personal vendetta with it. I just think it's really hideous and I don't know how they put it on here.
Yeah, there's no screws on it.
No screws, they probably just used the excess caulking.
Yeah.
The decision we're making right now is the height of the sink, because typically instructions that they give you is just kind of the average, but to be honest, I don't want to be just like hunched over the sink all the time, wash my hands, wash my face, do my makeup. So we're going to have this one be a little bit higher, so we may actually have to adjust what our laser level is, because when we do the laser level, this is a really important step. You're going to take that laser level and this top circle here, that's what you are leveling at. Just one way we are going to do this. So instead of leveling it out where the hole was, we are going to do the 34 inches so that we can get it around counter level type for kitchens, opposed to the typical bathroom one. And then as soon as we hit that 34 mark, we're going to measure it with the actual top so that we have an actual line. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you right now.
Support this, but they have to be really strong, so we're gonna have to cut the wall open and we're gonna put some wood behind there so I can put the screws right into wood. So as we cut the wall open, we'll see what we got. Next up, it is time to get a bit messy with the saw. We gotta cut open the wall. So to get some wood behind here, we're gonna take a piece of drywall out of the wall, and when we're all finished, the drywall will go back on in the same hole. But we don't want to go outside where the cabinet is. If we cut inside here, I can put a nice piece of wood in there to support the cabinet. But when the cabinet goes up, you won't see any of the cuts. So that is what we're going to do. All houses, a standard is a 16 inch. You see 16 inch on center, so the studs are all 16 inches. But the holes in this sink will be about 36, so that doesn't work. And chances are hitting a stud right at 16 cm where you're going to put up your cabinet pretty non-existent. So we have to build up some support. So we're going to put 2x4s in here. We're going to attach some on that end. But this one, we're going to run a 2x4 right to the base plate up and just have screws in the drywall to hold it up, but the weight will be held because it'll be sitting on the ground inside. So we'll see. So this is sitting right on the base plate, so that's going to take the weight of your cabinet.
Awesome.
So I don't have to really attach it to anything. Just attached to here and pulled in is going to
That's good.
force it on. support for the sink, the piece we cut out, we capped and just go right back on the wall.
So good.
And that'll be behind the sink so you won't see it.
This is a very heavy unit, especially when you get all of your stuff in there for the bathroom. So that's how you put in those studs. And now Dad is just using some drywall screws to get that drywall back in there. It looks like nothing even happened. And we have already identified where those holes are going to go. And then the next step will be piping. So we figured that it was easier to remove the plastic on the one side now before we put in the sink because it's put on there pretty tight. The other side, we're just gonna leave it on just to protect the wood. No real reason to take it off because it's gonna be really against the wall anyways. So if we feel like we wanna take it off, we totally can, but I think we'll probably just leave it on. Scratch what I just said, we're just gonna take it off. There are little teeth in this little screw bit too, so if you put it on right, they should grab on. And a note, make sure that they are the right side up. So right now, what we are doing, Dad's adjusting the laser level, and we are just making sure that everything is good and level, making sure that we don't have to unscrew things and just do a quick adjustment before the sink top and all those other things are on. One of the great parts about this IKEA unit, and this was definitely thought of during design, is when you are putting on those things, the reason why we did the laser level is they're very easy to adjust after. So you can just adjust it slightly and then screw it in tight, and then you're good to go.
When we had the wall open, it was easy to put where the studs are in the walls. So if we wanted a little extra support on the door, we can attach this bracket, put a screw in, and we know exactly where the wood is behind the drywall. So.
But we are adding extra support. Never, 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 never sit on one of these floating shelf units.
These should be a flathead screw, but we don't have one. It's a deck screw, but it will work, and you won't even see it when it's together.
So good, and there's so much counter space too, which was like the goal. Love this sink specifically. I'll put the name right here so that you know exactly what model this one is. So Dad just left. We are going to be doing the bottom part of the sink next time. This is a word of warning. This takes a lot of work and sometimes a lot of prep work as well to do this project. So give yourself a couple of days and be a bit lenient on yourself if you don't get it all done in one go. It looks phenomenal right now, you guys. I've got to show you what we've got going on in here. Look at this already. I am obsessed with the amount of counter space that we now have. We did not have that before. So Scott actually went to go help his sister with little Ree, his niece, who is adorable and I love. He loves me. But anyways, enough about me. We are going to be putting together some of the shelf units. I want to make sure that it's all done so that next time Dad comes over, we just basically have to do the piping, install all that stuff, and then we're kind of like good to go to just shove in those drawers. So that's what I'm going to put together right now. this is exciting because this means this gosh darn thing is scheduled to be finished today, so I can actually put all my stuff in there. It can become a functioning room again until we start ripping out the floor and all that fun stuff. But let's get into this plumbing detail and get you all up to date with how we are making it work under the sink.
Because the drainage pipe is right below where the drain comes in, there really isn't a lot of room to put the P-trap, which is this thing, which collects stuff. So we're going to cut this, we're just going to take this pipe in there and we're going to put it over here. We'll have to see how it turns out. Hopefully it turns out.
So we just had to move some things around in the wall. We have a little cable box in there as well. Doesn't matter because Scott and I don't have cable. We don't use it in that room anyways. So we'll probably have to cut that out. And so you know the, what's it called? The P-trap?
P-trap.
P-trap? That's where you'll find your rings if they fall down the sink.
That's it.
Now we figured out what country we're in so we can follow the instructions.
Normally plumbing and I don't get along, so I just want to tell you before we end this.
That's okay. We have 2 bathrooms.
We've said this before. When it comes to IKEA, never tighten anything too much because you are definitely going to break something. Dad just mentioned you're tightening this onto porcelain, so you also want to be really careful in this area. What mistake did we almost just make?
We just left a gap in the back. It was too far forward. So then we just backed it off a bit.
When it comes to hardware with this system, you get pieces for the sink and for the faucet that are the same. So we are actually going to be just using the ones from the sink because they are fully compatible. So we'll show you.
This is the overflow valve. I gotta reach behind to put this little thing on the back, and then this is gonna hook up, and that's gonna go hook up to your drain just in case you leave the water on, right? So everything is obviously behind here. They give you some little tool to do this, but
You were born with one.
I don't know, it doesn't really work. Piece we just put on the back, we're gonna hook this to it, so the water would drain through that into here. And they give you the option of either side to hook it to your drain. So right now they're filled in, there's plastic, so we have to smash a hole on whichever side we're gonna use.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be big, just half of this.
You're probably thinking, why didn't IKEA just punch that hole through on their own? Why did I have to do that? Well, both sides are covered and you're only hooking that black tube up to one side. So they're giving you the option of choosing the side. So that's why you have to punch that hole through.
Good. It'll get the job done.
It'll get the job done.
For every single sink, there are different pieces. As I mentioned, some pieces come from the sink, some pieces come from the faucet. So for this sink, if this is the one you are putting together, these are the pieces you're going to need.
So the sink came with this part here, which is basically this. Oh no, the faucet came with that and it would screw onto here. This part came with the faucet, but we're not going to use it. We're going to use a piece that's like this with an elbow that came with the sink. But we're going to use this part, which came from the faucet, to hook to it. So it's kind of strange, but you need the sink, you need the faucet that goes with the sink to make life simpler, if that makes any sense. So we're using parts from both kits that go together. This will go there and that'll be your drain stop. Yeah, this piece is an adapter, but it came with the sink, so it fit. What we want to do this 90 is we're going to cut this pipe and we're just going to put it over, so it's over here, and then that way we will we'll have more room. It won't be right under the sink, and it's going to give us room to put the P-trap under here. This thing's adjustable.
You're thinking at all, why are they doing all this to make it close to the wall? Well, it's because of the drawers. Field trip!
Field trip. Yeah. Sunny summer sunrise.
We've come to the depot.
The home.
The motherland of home. We have to get some pipes and things like that, so we're gonna show you because this could definitely happen to you guys. So there's a couple things that we needed to get. We needed to get new elbows and then as well an adjuster for this so that we could resize it. And we're gonna show you all of that back at the loft, so don't worry about that, and all the sizes and prices and all that. But we also wanted to add shut-off valves. So that's what we're currently looking at, and we're gonna add a shut-off valve both for the cold and the hot, just to make it easy, just in case a scenario pops up where that needs to happen and you don't want to shut off the water to the home. We have popcorn ceiling and we don't love it. We really wanted to take it down for some time, but in the meantime we kind of just are going to paint it and leave it because there's so many other things that we want to get to. So there's a specific roller that you can use to paint popcorn ceiling that's going to be more effective than using a paintbrush or any other kind of foam roller.
For the popcorn ceiling, you want to just look for the cheapest roller, but for walls you should get a good roller. It does make a difference with a good roller when you're doing your walls. Tile stucco surface block any uneven surface. So
cool. Yeah, let's get that.
So it's 19 mil rather than 10. Okay. That's going to get in between all the popcorn.
When you're doing an IKEA reno, the great thing about this Godmorgon set is that they actually have a flush cabinetry. So when you add the hardware, it gives you the capability of adding any hardware you want. Of course, it comes with hardware and you can totally go with that one, but we're just gonna see if we can step it up just a little bit in terms of design. So we're gonna check out the different designs for hardware. With a lot of countertops, you don't actually need a lot of seal on it, so we just put a couple of dabs because usually the countertop is heavy enough and holds itself in place, so just an extra security.
This is for ABS, and this is ABS. There's PVC too, it's a different, but you want to get the right tool. We cut our piece, and before we put it on, they give you these little washers. Are kind of concave. So the big end has to go up. It just slides over here, and then this is kind of concave in, and it'll fit. It's just a compression washer, and that just tightens down. So be careful with this pipe; it's not super strong.
Initial test. Very nice.
Crystal.
Oh, just down the drain.
All right, now. here. We're gonna put cutoffs on, so we can turn the water off right here and not in the whole house. This, if you have copper pipe, that goes over the copper pipe in there, and that's we don't have copper, so. We already got that, but this is plumbing tape. Just take off a little bit. And put this just around the threads. Don't need a lot, just once around. Just once again, pretty simple. Red, hot water, red. Comes out of your tap the proper way.
If you own a home and say the heat and the cold are coming out of the wrong ones, is it a simple fix by just switching them?
Yep. Yeah, it just means they're on the wrong side.
So you'll notice that some of the water was coming out even though we shut off the water. You have to take a lot of that water out of the tap. So if that's happening to you, go around the house, turn on all the taps, try to run it dry. And then as well, this sink is lower than the other sinks in the house. So path of least resistance. And you're gonna wanna get rid of water at a lower area. So we just flushed the toilet and it really helped.
No leakage.
This is so great, there's no
Hey, we have flowing water.
Is our working progress. Changing the light. That's our new mirror. And we are fully done the install of this guy. All we have to do is put our new hardware on. So that's going to be phenomenal. Great job! We did it! Oh, thank you. Hello friends, time has passed. My hair is longer and we are now in the midst of almost being done this reno for our bathroom. What I want to show you is where this little guy is now situated and how we are using it. So this light from CB2, this mirror, IKEA, those flowers got for our anniversary, Bath & Body Works soap, we got a CB2 little ring holder, and then this beautiful piece that we just made from IKEA. So far, things that I love about it, I love that we added our own hardware, highly recommend. It just completely ups the design look of the face of this. We still haven't done the floor, but you know what, we will get to that. Already time has passed. I love how much stuff I can fit in here. Like, this thing is absolutely chock full. I'm going to be doing an organization video for sure for this unit very soon. But I do seriously want to give a huge shout out to my dad and Scott's dad for helping us out create this. You might need a dad not included. You might need someone to help you do this renovation because just the piping alone was like a task. But all in all, absolutely so pleased with this unit, and if you guys are making it as well, good luck, and I hope that this video helped you out just a little bit. If you did like this video or it did help you out, please subscribe, it helps me, and then liking this video, that also really helps me too. And leave a comment if this again helped you, or a little tip that you have during your rent out process. All in all, it's already been a long one, so we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!